So the paint's dry, and I'm gonna go ahead, or the glue's dry. I'm gonna go ahead and take this apart and get all this stuff out of my way to get ready to paint. I'm only painting the very outside of the boxes, but before I do, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. This is not too bad. Got a little glue I'll have to sand. But these tear outs, even though they'll get covered with paint, and then even this is poor quality in my opinion. Real good grade of lumber, no knots or anything, and either they was rushing it. Anyway, I just think that's poor quality, and I know the paint will cover a lot of this up, but it's just, I don't think, if they don't change the way they're doing their work, I'm not going to be buying any more stuff from them, even though they're semi-local. They're here in the States. So, but I'll be painting this in a little bit, and I'll show you then. So I'm gonna be able to paint inside today. The wind's blowing too bad. I sanded this down, knocked the roughness off of it, and wiped it down. And then I taped the edges because I don't want any paint to get on the inside. And the paint I chose to use is a barn and fence paste, oil-based paint for outside. And I know a lot of people like using different type of paint. I've had good luck with this paint, painting different things, and I think it'll be a good paint to use. So as soon as I get this mixed up and everything's set in place, cleaned off, then I will be painting what I can and letting it dry, and then come back and finish it up. So I'm doing several things today at one time, or at least trying to. Been working on my summer kitchen, and I'm still waiting on stuff to dry, so I'm going to paint 3 sides of this. Matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, because I want to paint some of this stuff as well, clean this dust off where it ain't stirring around up there. Go ahead and paint this, or at least paint a couple pieces of this stuff where it can all be drying. And then I got to do it indoors because the wind's blowing and there's a lot of pollen coming off the trees. So I got red oak right outside. Hoping to get this box out and get the other one put together, and hopefully get one set out for swarm. And then I'm going to start on my long hives and see if I can get a couple of them built, painted, and I really want to lay it on thick here and then spread it out, try to fill in any gaps, which is this won't be just one coat, this will be several, but I'm going to spread it pretty thin, get a good coating on it. I was hoping I had some primer left, but I didn't. I always like to do a really good job. When I paint. So, again, smear that in all them cracks and crevices, and then I'll pull it out as I paint more. Okay, so pretty good gap there. So I got the box painted on 3 sides and the very bottom. I'm just gonna go back and touch up any little spot that I see that might hold paint or too much paint. I want it to be able to dry fairly quick. That's why I'm doing thin coats. I'm going to go in and paint some of this, get it ready, just pieces and parts. The good thing about it is I do have a refrigerator in my shop, so I can just put this in a Ziplocs I got out here, and then just stick it in a refrigerator to keep it from drying out while I'm doing other things. Anywhere that will come in contact with the outside, I am definitely covering good. These edges here where they meet, I'm going to paint a little bit. I'm going to try not to get any paint on the inside. I did not tape this ahead of time. I was not thinking, but this brush seems to do a really good job edging right up against it and not getting inside. So, but I just want a thin coat on everything that I can right now. I have a place for this to dry anyway, and hopefully tomorrow I can get this one set for a swarm trap. Probably not tomorrow, but give it a day or two to air out a little bit, get this paint smell off of it, but definitely get it outside and get it airing out a little bit, have the paint done, and then in a couple days after this weather breaks. This rain has really wreaked havoc on me this spring, not being able to get as much done as I'd like. But maybe when this weather passes, I'll be able to get this out and capture me a swarm of bees. Wish the wind wasn't blowing so bad outside, then I could have this outside drying. The sun's out pretty bright today, which is nice. Change. Alright. Yeah, somehow I leached over a little bit on that one, but that's all right. So I'll set this back behind this box, let it dry back here, and then close my paint up. Like I said, I'll be back. So it really absorbed the paint, so it's probably going to take more coats than I thought. I know one thing, that bed liner stuff from Harbor Freight really sticks. So stir this up just a tad. It's starting to separate on top. But I'm going to put another coat on some of this stuff. And actually I'm going to start down here and go up. But it'll probably take 3 or 4 coats since I didn't prime it. I wished I would have. I just didn't have none here. And really hate going to town. So it's just going to use a little extra paint. That is all. And I've got plenty of paint. Alright, so now start spreading that out good. These ends will really suck up the paint, so I always put extra on them. got ingrain, it will always, dang it, suck up the paint. So I got 2 coats of paint on it that started raining and it just wasn't drying. I let it set overnight, and I'm gonna put a coat on this, let it dry, touch up my edges, a few of my other parts, but I want to try to get 2 coats all the way around, and then I'll go back because it's still not painted good. The lettering showed through. I'd probably scratch it with my fingernail. So I want a good thick paint, and if I gotta do it 4 or 5 times, then I will. And that's also try to get some of that cleaned up, but where it's run down. I didn't think I had that much paint on it, but like I said, I'm gonna paint some of this other stuff and get it looking good, and just keep working on it until I get it done. And then I've got more boxes, or another box I got to put together, and more frames, and try to get this all worked out today. So hopefully it'll be finished by the end of the day.